Thank you, Senator Feinstein. I want to thank you for your steadfast commitment to this issue over the years. I want to thank my colleague and friend, Senator Schumer, for the same, first in the House of Representatives and the Senate. And Carolyn McCarthy, your words touch our hearts, as so many victims who stand and fight for change do. She did more than just speak out, though. She ran for office to make sure that her voice would be heard in the halls of Congress. I want to also thank those who are here today, particularly law enforcement. We cannot do this without you. We need to have your validation of what we are setting out to do. And so many others, families, victims, medical community, faith community, who are stepping up now. Because this just isn't a matter of an issue of constitution, it's an issue of conscience, an issue of conscience. We have one basic question that is being asked today, which I hope we can answer. What does it take? What does it take to move a nation? What does it take to move a Congress? We know about the thousands of victims of gun violence. We certainly know that not that long ago there was a tragedy in Arizona where one of our own, Gabrielle Giffords, at a town meeting was shot point blank in the face, and others were killed in that same location. And even that incident did not move us to act. What does it take? It took 20 children in Newtown, Connecticut, and 6 others showing extraordinary courage to risk their lives and try to save and protect those same children. It was the image of those children that each and every one of us looked at and said, that could be my son or daughter. That could be my grandson, my granddaughter. And it made a difference. It was the tipping point in this national conversation. I'll never forget when Dick Blumenthal and Chris Murphy came back to tell us firsthand of what they saw in Newtown, Connecticut. And Dick undoubtedly will mention this in his remarks. He talked about standing in that building off to the side with the parents as they brought the children out of the school. And parents would rush to grab their little babies, hug them, knowing they were safe. But at the end of the day, there were 20 parents standing alone. That's what it took. The question is, what will we do about it? What can we do about it? We can only do as much as the American people help us do. We need to have their support. Their silence can't win this issue. They have to speak out. In the month after Newtown, Connecticut, where 26 innocent lives were lost to this automatic weapon, semi-automatic weapon, and a person who never should have owned it, we had over 26 killed on the streets of the city of Chicago, victims of gun violence. The tragedy continues to repeat itself. When I met with the superintendent of police in Chicago and talked about this, he brought with him a piece of evidence, much like you'll see here. It was an Uzi. The night before, that Uzi had been used on the streets of Chicago and turned on a policeman, and thank God it jammed after one round. Thank goodness no one was hurt or killed. But that is what this debate is about. Let me close by saying there's another group we need in this conversation. We need responsible hunters and sportsmen to step up and join us. Let me tell you, I grew up in this tradition in downstate Illinois. There are plenty of shotguns and hunters and sportsmen in my family. They value this part of their lives. It's part of their American tradition. They use their guns safely and responsibly. They store their guns safely, responsibly. They comply with every aspect of the law. And they shake their heads when they hear the gun lobby speak for them, saying things which they don't believe, that you need a weapon like this to go out and hunt or to go to target practice. We need them to step up. We need their voices as part of this conversation. For the critics who say, well, there just isn't any law, not the Feinstein law, not the McCarthy law that'll stop all this. That's true. But if it can save a life, if it can spare a tragedy, it is certainly worth our support and our effort.